The day he realized his life was too small for his dreams. The room was small, but the silence inside it felt even smaller. Arjun sat on the edge of his bed, holding his phone in his hand, not really looking at anything. The light in the room was dim. The walls were old and cracked, carrying the marks of time and struggle. The fan above him moved slowly, making a tired noise, as if it also had given up on moving faster. Outside, the city was alive. Cars passed. People laughed. Life was moving forward. But Arjun felt stuck. He was 22 years old, but inside, he felt like he had already lived a long, tired life. Not because he had achieved too much, but because he had accepted too little. Every day looked exactly the same. He woke up late, rushed to a job he didn't like, worked under people who didn't respect him, and came back home exhausted. His salary finished before the month ended. His dreams finished before the day started. At night, he lay on his bed and watched motivational videos. He listened to stories of success, quotes about discipline, and speeches about dreams. For a few minutes, he felt inspired. But when the video ended, reality returned, heavy and unchanged. That night was different. While scrolling on his phone, Arjun saw a photo posted by his old school friend. The caption said, "First day at my dream job. Grateful." The photo showed a confident smile, clean clothes, and hopeful eyes. Arjun stared at the screen for a long time. Not because he hated his friend, not because he was jealous, but because something inside him broke. He remembered how, years ago, he and that same friend used to sit together in class and talk about big dreams. They both wanted more from life. They both believed they were meant for something better. Somewhere along the way, Arjun stopped believing. He put his phone down and looked at the ceiling. His chest felt heavy. His mind was full of thoughts he had avoided for years. "I had dreams too," he whispered softly. As a child, Arjun dreamed of success, respect, and freedom. He wanted to do something meaningful. He wanted his parents to feel proud. He wanted to wake up excited about life. But slowly, life taught him to think small. Failures made him afraid. People told him to be realistic. Society told him to settle. Without realizing it, Arjun accepted a life he never wanted. That night, for the first time in years, Arjun asked himself an honest question, a question he had been running from. If my life continues like this for the next 10 years, will I be proud of myself? The answer came immediately. No. That one word hit him harder than any insult, any failure, or any loss. He realized something painful but powerful. His biggest problem was not money. It was not luck. It was not education. His biggest problem was comfort. He had become comfortable with complaining instead of changing, comfortable with dreaming instead of doing, comfortable with waiting instead of starting. That realization scared him, but it also gave him energy. The next morning, Arjun woke up earlier than usual, not because he felt motivated, but because his mind refused to stay asleep. Something inside him had shifted. While traveling to work, he looked at people around him carefully. Some looked tired. Some looked angry. Some looked confident. Some looked lost. He noticed something important. Everyone was busy, but very few looked happy. At work, his boss shouted at him for a small mistake. Earlier, Arjun would have felt small and helpless. But that day, something was different. He listened quietly, nodded, and returned to his desk. Inside his mind, a calm voice said, "This job will not define my life." During lunch break, instead of scrolling social media, Arjun opened a small notebook he had in his bag. On the first page, he wrote slowly, "I don't know how, but I will change my life." It was not a perfect plan. It was not a big promise, but it was honest. That evening, Arjun didn't go home immediately. He sat alone in a small park near the road. Children were playing without fear. Old people were walking slowly, enjoying the air. Life was happening all around him. He thought deeply. He realized something important about successful people. They were not always confident. They were not fearless. They were not special. They simply started before they felt ready. And Arjun had been waiting to feel ready his whole life. That night, instead of making a big promise, Arjun made a small decision. He decided to improve just 1% every day. The next morning, he woke up 30 minutes earlier. He read 5 pages of a book. He learned one new English word. He wrote one paragraph about his thoughts. It felt small, almost useless. But when he went to sleep, he felt something he hadn't felt in years. Pride. Days passed. Some days he failed. Some days he felt tired. Some days he wanted to quit. But he didn't stop. Slowly, his confidence grew, quietly, steadily. Weeks later, people around him noticed the change. He spoke with more clarity. He complained less. His posture improved. His eyes looked focused. One evening, while watching another motivational video, Arjun smiled. For the first time, he wasn't just watching inspiration. He was becoming it. If you feel connected to this story, remember, change doesn't start loudly. It starts silently, with one honest decision. But Arjun didn't know something yet. When you decide to change your life, life tests you. And soon, a challenge would come that would shake everything he had started. That challenge would decide whether Arjun truly changed or returned to the life he promised himself he would leave behind. When the world tested his decision, change feels exciting at the beginning. For Arjun, the first few weeks felt powerful. Waking up early, reading books, learning new words, writing his thoughts. These small habits made him feel different, stronger, more alive. For the first time, he felt like he was moving forward, even if slowly. But life does not watch quietly when someone decides to change. Life tests them. One morning, Arjun woke up late. His alarm didn't ring. He rushed to work without reading, without writing, without learning anything new. That night, he felt disappointed. It's okay, he told himself. One bad day doesn't mean failure. But the next day, he woke up tired again. His body felt heavy. His mind felt slow. The old voice inside him returned. Why are you trying so hard? This won't change anything. People like you don't succeed. That voice was familiar. It had lived inside him for years. At work, pressure increased. His boss gave him more tasks. His coworkers laughed when he talked about learning new skills. One of them said jokingly, "Bro, why are you acting like a successful person? This is our life." Everyone laughed. Arjun smiled, but inside it hurt. That night, sitting on his bed, Arjun felt confused. He asked himself, "Am I lying to myself? Is change only for special people?" He opened his notebook. The first page still said, "I don't know how, but I will change my life." He stared at that sentence for a long time. Then he turned the page and wrote something new. "This will be difficult, but I will not stop." The next few weeks were harder than before. Some days, Arjun woke up early. Some days, he failed. Some days, he read and learned. Some days, he did nothing. Progress felt slow, almost invisible. One evening, while walking home from work, Arjun saw a man selling tea on the roadside. The man looked older, maybe in his 40s. He worked silently, focused, serving customers with care. Arjun stopped and bought tea. While waiting, he noticed something strange. The tea seller looked tired, but peaceful. His eyes were calm. Without thinking, Arjun asked, "Uncle, do you like this work?" The man smiled gently and said, "I don't love it, but I do it with honesty. And after work, I study." Arjun was surprised. "You study?" The man nodded. "Yes, slowly. Every day. I want to open my own small shop one day." Those words stayed with Arjun all night. If a tired tea seller could dream quietly, why couldn't he? That night, Arjun realized an important truth. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. He stopped waiting to feel inspired. He focused on doing the work, even when he didn't feel like it. He created simple rules. Wake up early, no excuses. Read, even if tired. Learn, even if slow. Write, even if confused. Days turned into months. Slowly, Arjun noticed changes. His English improved. His confidence grew. He spoke more clearly at work. People started listening when he talked. Even his boss noticed. One day, his boss said, "You've improved. What are you doing differently?" Arjun smiled and said, I stopped waiting for life to change me. But life wasn't done testing him. One evening, Arjun received a call from home. His father's voice sounded worried. There were financial problems, bills, pressure, responsibility. Fear returned. That night, Arjun lay awake, staring at the ceiling. Old thoughts attacked him again. Maybe this is not the time. You should focus only on money. Dreams can wait. He felt pulled in two directions, survival and growth. In the morning, he stood in front of the mirror and looked at his tired face. He asked himself another honest question. If I quit now, will my future thank me? The answer was clear. No. He decided something difficult. He would handle responsibility, but he would not kill his dreams. He took extra shifts. He worked harder, but he didn't stop learning. He didn't stop growing. Even if it was just 10 minutes a day. That period was painful. He was tired all the time. But deep inside, something felt right. For the first time, he was choosing his future, not escaping it. One night, while writing in his notebook, Arjun smiled. He wasn't successful yet. He wasn't rich. He wasn't famous. But he was proud. Backhand index pointing right if you're listening to this story and feeling tired. Remember, growth often feels like pain before it feels like freedom. Arjun didn't know it yet, but soon an opportunity would appear. An opportunity that would test not his discipline, but his courage. And courage is harder than effort. Discipline is choosing what you want most, over what you want now. The opportunity that scared him more than failure. Arjun did not notice the change at first. For months, his life moved in a quiet rhythm. Wake up early. Work hard. Learn slowly. Write daily. Nothing dramatic happened. No big success. No sudden miracle. Just steady effort. But inside him, something strong was growing. One evening, while returning from work, Arjun checked his phone and saw a message from an unknown number. Hello Arjun, this is Ramesh. I saw your online post about learning English and self-growth. We are starting a small training group. Would you like to join? Arjun stopped walking. His heart started beating faster. He remembered posting short English practice videos online late at night when no one was watching. He remembered thinking, no one cares anyway. And now, someone had noticed. Excitement rushed through him, and then fear followed immediately. What if I'm not good enough? What if I fail publicly? What if people laugh at me again? That night, Arjun could not sleep. His mind kept replaying the message. This was the opportunity he had secretly hoped for, and also the one he feared the most. In the morning, doubt grew stronger. This is risky, he told himself. I should stay safe. At least my current life is stable. But another voice spoke quietly inside him, the voice he had been building for months. Growth always feels uncomfortable. At lunch break, Arjun opened his notebook and read his old lines. The promise, the struggle, the discipline. He realized something important. If he said no now, he would stay the same forever. That evening, his fingers shook as he typed a reply. Yes, I would like to join. The next few days were filled with nervous energy. Arjun prepared every night after work. He practiced speaking English loudly in his small room. He made mistakes. He laughed at himself. He corrected himself. The first day of the training group arrived. Arjun entered a small classroom with about 15 people. Some looked confident. Some looked nervous. Some looked experienced. He felt small. When his turn came to speak, his mouth went dry. His heart pounded loudly in his chest. For a moment, he wanted to run away. Then he remembered his past self, the man sitting in a small room, tired of his own excuses. He took a deep breath and spoke. His voice was not perfect. His English was not perfect, but his words were honest. When he finished, the room was quiet. Then someone clapped. Slowly, others joined. Arjun felt something warm rise in his chest. Relief. For the first time, he realized something powerful. People don't expect perfection. They respect courage. Over the next few weeks, Arjun became more involved in the group. He helped beginners. He shared his learning process. He spoke openly about his fears and failures. People listened. One day, Ramesh told him, "You connect with people. You should teach." That sentence scared Arjun more than anything else. Teach. Who was he to teach anyone? That night, doubt attacked him again. You're not an expert. You're not successful yet. Who will take you seriously? But then he remembered something simple. He wasn't teaching success. He was teaching progress. He agreed to try. His first teaching session was small. Only 6 people. His hands shook. His voice cracked. But he continued. After the session, a young woman came to him and said, "Sir, I was afraid to speak English. But after listening to you, I feel brave." That sentence stayed with him for days. Arjun realized something life-changing. Helping others gave his struggle meaning. But with growth came new pressure. Some people criticized him online. They said he wasn't qualified. They questioned his knowledge. Old fear returned. One comment hurt deeply. "Stop pretending to be successful." Arjun stared at the screen for a long time. That night, he almost quit. He closed his notebook. He turned off the light. He lay in bed, exhausted. Tears filled his eyes. Then he remembered the tea cellar. He remembered discipline. He remembered his promise. The next morning, Arjun woke up early again. He didn't reply to the hate. He didn't explain himself. He simply continued. Weeks passed. The group grew. His confidence improved. His English became clearer. His thinking sharper. One evening, his boss called him into the office. "I've noticed your growth," his boss said. "We are opening a new team. I want you to lead it." Arjun was shocked. The same job that once made him feel small was now offering him responsibility. That night, Arjun sat alone in his room again. But this time, the silence felt different. He wasn't stuck anymore. He wasn't finished either. He was becoming. Backhand index pointing right if this story feels close to your heart. Remember, courage is not loud. It is quiet and consistent. But Arjun's journey was not complete. Because success brings a new challenge. The weight of growth and the fear of falling. Success did not arrive loudly. It arrived quietly, carrying responsibility with it. After Arjun was asked to lead the new team at work, his life began to change again. People now looked at him differently. They listened when he spoke. They asked for his opinion. The same office that once made him feel invisible now expected leadership from him. At first, it felt good. But soon, the pressure started to grow. Arjun woke up earlier than before and slept later than ever. Work responsibilities increased. His teaching sessions continued in the evenings. Messages came constantly. Questions, problems, expectations. Everyone wanted something from him. One night, sitting alone with his notebook, Arjun felt tired in a way he had never felt before. Not physical tiredness, mental exhaustion. He asked himself quietly, "Am I moving forward or am I burning out?" The next few weeks were difficult. At work, his team made mistakes, and Arjun felt responsible. At the training group, more people joined, and expectations rose. People now saw him as a guide, not a learner. That scared him. What if I disappoint them? What if I fail now, when people believe in me? These thoughts followed him everywhere. One evening, after a long day, Arjun stood on the balcony of his room, looking at the city lights. The same city that once made him feel small now made him feel heavy. Growth was no longer exciting. It was overwhelming. That night, he didn't open his notebook. He didn't read. He didn't learn. He just lay in bed, staring into darkness. The next morning, he woke up late. For the first time in months, he missed his routine completely. Guilt hit him hard. Am I becoming lazy again? He thought. Is this how it ends? At work, his mind felt slow. He made small mistakes. His boss noticed. The fear of falling back returned stronger than ever. That evening, Arjun received a message from a student. "Sir, I'm feeling lost again. Can you guide me?" Arjun stared at the message and felt tears in his eyes. He wanted to help, but he didn't know how to help himself. That night, Arjun finally accepted something he had been avoiding. He was trying to carry everything alone. The next day, he met Ramesh and spoke honestly. "I feel tired. I feel scared. I don't know if I can handle all this," Arjun said. Ramesh listened quietly, and then said something simple but powerful. Growth without balance becomes punishment. Those words hit Arjun deeply. He realized he had replaced one extreme with another. First, he lived without effort. Now, he lived without rest. Both were unhealthy. That week, Arjun made another difficult decision. He slowed down. Not quitting, not giving up, just slowing down. He reduced unnecessary work. He delegated tasks. He asked for help, something he had never done before. At first, it felt uncomfortable, like weakness. But slowly, something changed. His mind felt clearer. His energy returned. His joy came back. One evening, while teaching, he smiled naturally, not forcing motivation, but feeling it again. He learned a new lesson. Rest is not quitting. Rest is preparing. But life still had one more test. A promotion opportunity came at work, higher position, more money, more pressure. Everyone expected Arjun to say yes. That night, Arjun sat alone, thinking deeply. If he accepted, he would grow faster, but would he lose himself again? For the first time, Arjun didn't rush. He thought about his values, his health, his future. The next day, he said something unexpected. I'm grateful, but I need time. People were surprised, but Arjun felt calm. He was no longer chasing growth blindly. He was choosing it wisely. That choice changed how people respected him. Arjun realized something powerful. True strength is not how much you can carry. It's knowing when to pause. That night, sitting in his room, he smiled softly. He was no longer the man who feared being stuck. He was no longer the man who chased growth at any cost. He was becoming balanced. Backhand index pointing right. If you're listening to this story and feeling tired, remember, growth should build you, not break you. But Arjun's journey was not finished, because one final question remained. What was he growing for? The purpose that made everything meaningful. For the first time in his life, Arjun was not running. Not running from fear. Not running toward success. Just standing still, thinking. The city looked the same from his window. Lights, noise, movement. But inside Arjun, there was calm. The kind of calm that comes only after storms. He had grown. That much was clear. He was no longer the young man who hated his mornings. He was no longer afraid to speak, afraid to try, afraid to fail. He had discipline, confidence, respect. But one question kept returning quietly, again and again. Why am I doing all this? At work, he was doing well. At teaching, people listened. His life was better than before. But something felt incomplete. One evening, after a training session, a young boy stayed back. He looked nervous. Sir, the boy said softly, I wanted to quit learning English. I felt stupid, but your story helped me. Now I practice every day. Arjun smiled and encouraged him. The boy left, happy. That night, Arjun couldn't sleep. That sentence stayed in his mind. Your story helped me. He realized something powerful. His biggest achievement was not his job, not his promotion, not his confidence. It was impact. The next few weeks, Arjun paid more attention to people than to progress. He listened carefully. He noticed how many people felt lost, just like he once did. Not lazy, not stupid, just afraid. Afraid of starting, afraid of failing, afraid of being judged. One night, while writing in his notebook, Arjun wrote a new line. My struggle can become someone else's guide. That sentence changed everything. He decided to create something simple. Not big, not perfect, just honest. He started recording short motivational stories in simple English. No fancy editing, no acting, just his voice and real words. At first, only a few people watched. But he didn't stop. Because this time, he wasn't chasing views. He was chasing meaning. Slowly, messages started coming. Your story feels like my life. I understand English better now. This gave me courage. Arjun felt something he had never felt before. Peace. But life, as always, tested him one last time. A big opportunity came, a high-paying job in another city. More money, more status, less time for teaching and content. People advised him strongly. This is success. You should not think too much. Opportunities don't wait. Arjun spent an entire night thinking. He imagined the old version of himself, tired, silent, afraid. He imagined the new version, calm, confident, purposeful. In the morning, he made a decision. He chose balance over ego, purpose over pressure, meaning over money. He accepted growth, but not at the cost of what made him human. People didn't understand. Some laughed, some warned him, but Arjun felt light. For the first time, his life direction was clear. Months passed. Arjun continued working, teaching, and creating content. Not perfectly, not fast, but honestly. He learned a final truth. Life does not change in one moment. It changes when you keep choosing the right direction again and again. One evening, Arjun sat in the same room where his journey had begun. Same walls, same fan, same city sounds. But he was not the same person. He looked at his old notebook. The first page still read, "I don't know how, but I will change my life." He smiled. He had not reached the end, but he had found the path. And that was enough. If you are listening to this story and feeling behind in life, remember this. You are not late. You are not broken. You are not finished. You are just at the beginning of a decision. Start small. Stay consistent. Be patient with yourself. Your story matters, even before success arrives. Where simple English meets real life lessons. If this story inspired you, subscribe to this channel and continue growing with us.